Hello and welcome to a Lewi Buch Productions special. This is just spur of the moment, as I've got quite a nice lineup out here just now. Although it's a Super Robin, it's the one that's featured heavily on the channel. There is a restored Robin over there, but it was easier to use it. So, you may wonder what I'm actually doing a video of right now. Standing in the middle of 4 Reliants. Well, a Reliant made Bone Bug. But I thought this was a very good chance to do a video of something that, a bit of an educational kind of idea. And that is 30 years of Reliant. Because believe it or not, between these cars is 30 years. This is the oldest one. The 1959 Reliant Regal Mark V. Now, yeah, I'm saying 30 years, and this is the end of the 50s. But through the 50s, Reliants looked like this. Yeah, they had little changes. This was on the go, I believe it was 58, 59, 1960ish, about that time. But the Mark IV and the Mark III both looked like this, and they were in the heart of the 50s they were on the go from. All the same idea, timber frame, metal chassis, fiberglass shell. They replaced this aluminium bodied Reliant Regal, which was the Mark I and Mark II, which are very early. When this one came to the end of its design and they decided to upgrade it, unfortunately I can't show you that model because I don't have it, but the super van that's here is a quite close comparison to what the in-between model looked like. Between this and this, there was the Regal 325. The 325 was a radically redesigned version of this. It was called the Regal Mark VII for a while, but that name didn't stick. They kept it as the 325. But if you look in the books, it does refer to the Regal Mark VII. The Regal 325, near enough the same face of this. It had a side light fitted down here, as this one has a side light there. It had a different face to it as well. It actually were called the Regal Slatties, and that was because there's a slight curvature here and a full set of fiberglass grills moulded into the bodywork. Quite nice little cars, you don't see much of them, and they also came, well, you got the 325 Regal and you got the 5 cubic weight van, which was the predecessor to this. The 325 Regal became the 325 Super, which looked like this, apart from it had a side light. From there, they went to the van, which when the 325 Super came out, they upgraded the van to become the Super Van 2, I believe it was. The Super Van 2 was a 600cc engined version of this, basically. Then in I can't remember the exact year, it was the late 60s, the Super Van 3 and the Regal 330 was born. Unfortunately I don't have the 330 here because it's in the Grampian Transport Museum. But I do have this, which is a Super Van 3, and there's another one behind the camera. Both made actually within 6 months of each other, which is really surprising. But yeah, the Super Van 3s, they were the last incarnation of the Regal. Well, I say Regal, it's the same front end, but different back, because you either got the van or the saloon. So, these, by the time they were on the go, this is 1970, this van, that one behind the camera is 71. At the end of the 1970s, the Regal had been on the go since, I believe it was early 1950s, possibly 1940s. So it's quite a long name, these two cars. And it went from here, these developed into the Robin, which is right at this end of the queue. Now the Robin came along in 1974 as just a Robin. It was called Reliant Robin. As you'll find out, compared to the blue Robin that I have, which I'll feature at some point, it is a Robin 850, which was the bigger version, well, bigger engine version. They only made a 750 Robin for a year or two, and then it was done away with. They just put the bigger engine in. Same look. The fuel filler cap was raised on the 850. As you'll find as well, if you find an M-Reg Robin, this isn't one of them. This is M-Reg, but not the same. M-Reg Robins are pre-production usually, and the filler cap will be in the same place as the 850, 850 Robins. This one is lower down, and the problem with that was when you turned corners, it used to leak fuel. Common problem, as my other Super Robin, fully restored with new fuel cap and everything, does do that. So you have to clean it after every run. But anyway, so this was the last incarnation of, well, I say last incarnation, this was the, for took over from the Regal 330 and the Super Van 3. You got the Super Robins, which this actually is. You got the Super Robin 850, which I don't have, but it's the same features as this ones would have. You then had the Robin Estates, as well as the Robin Van, all available as Super versions. From these, they went on to the Rialtos, those Rialto 2s. I don't have those either. And then it went back to the Robin name. And when I went back to the Robin name, there's a Robin 2, and you can tell them because there's slightly different front end, and I believe it's Fiesta headlights they used. Well, same headlights as a Fiesta. That's the best way to compare them in the Robin 2. And it's also got a smaller grille, quite small plastic one, compared to the Rialto, which is a similar grille to a Metro. But anyway, the Robin 2 went on to go, I believe it was 80s, into the 90s. Well, must have been into the 90s at least, alongside the Rialto. The Rialto was discontinued in the late 90s, and the Mark III Robin came on to go, I think it was 98, 99 kind of time. Reliant stopped making the Robin in the early 2000s, and the very last version of the Robin, which I don't have it either, is a Robin 65. Mark III Robin, but the Robin 65 was a limited production number Robin, which only 65 were made. All of them had brass plaques on the dash. They were all gold, leather interior, the lot. They were quite luxurious for a Robin. And after that, there was B&N Plastics. You got their version of the Robin. They bought the moulds. Unfortunately, it didn't take off. But yeah, that is the complete history of the freewheelers, really. But as I said at the beginning, this is 30 years of Reliant we're doing in this video. So although I've told you the whole, well, near enough the whole story, that's not going into the four-wheelers and all the rest of it. We've got the 30-year version here. So, going for the Mark I Robin, back the way, is this. You've got the Bond Bug, which was an incarnation of the Super Robin and the Regal 330 running gear combined to make this. And what you'll find is there's a lot of bits on it that are similar to a van, like the fuel tank sender. You've got the parts out of this one, which I believe is the diff is similar to the Super Robin. Oh no, the diff is similar to the Super Van. There is parts between the two cars that are similar. I mean, the dash is the same speedo as the Regals and the 330s. I mean, these were on the go before the Super Robin, or the Robin name even existed. As you'll see, that's M-Reg and this is N. No, this is it. Let me get this right. This is N. That means I've made a mistake of this. Sorry, this is an N-Reg one, so this wasn't a pre-production at all. M-Reg ones, because this is M. This is 1973, I believe. A lovely little motor. But yeah, that's the fun of these things. But I thought I'd just take this chance while it's a cold but nice day, and while I was swapping around the cars, because I'm waiting to put this to the back of the workshop so I can work on the Mark V again. I thought it was a nice chance to, shall we say, have a little video and speak about 30 years of Reliant and let you get to see something a bit different. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video. It's a bit different for the channel, although it's still Reliant related. I haven't actually done work for a change. So till next time, I guess we'll see you again next video, hopefully. And if you have enjoyed this video, remember to hit the subscribe button like the video if you have liked it, and leave a comment. Tell me if you think I've got anything wrong, if you've got anything to add in, or if you just want to say hi and introduce yourself on the channel. Really great to hear from you guys as well. And yeah, I'm going to go and crack on and get some work done before the daylight disappears. But thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you again.